Yeah, you been scarred, but you a czar, you can crawl to the grave. I know that a lion's inside, sleeping in your heart. Step back and remember who you are.
What up, Pride? It's your boy Amari, back again with another reaction video. Today we're getting into Hamilton Part 3, well, Part 3 of my reaction to Hamilton. I am very excited to be getting into Hamilton. Again, thank you guys so much for your patience. I've been sick the past few days. I'm actually still sick, but I'm better enough to film. So we're gonna be getting back into this because I'm very excited to jump back into Hamilton, and also because I need to release a third part before you guys forget about me and move on. So we're getting into another part today. This video, as you can see from the title, is only going to be covering one song because that's the breakdown that I have to react to. So that works out because, again, not feeling the best, but also not doing the longest video today. This one song, based on the timestamp of where I'm supposed to stop, is a pretty long song, and it's me, so you know I'm gonna have a bunch to talk about. But we're gonna get into this today. If you're new here, definitely make sure to subscribe not to miss future parts. And if you haven't seen my previous parts, definitely make sure to go check out part 1 and part 2 of my reaction to the songs up to this point of Hamilton. That will be pinned down in the pinned comment down below, as well as in the description of this video. So check that out on the Hamilton playlist on my channel. But without further ado, let's get into this, and I'll be seeing all of you guys on the other side. How does a bastard, orphan, son of a whore and a Scotsman, dropped in the middle of a forgotten spot in the Caribbean? Okay, you get the point. That's the violin portion of the intro to Alexander Hamilton, which I don't know what the significance of bringing that motif back to be the intro of this song is, or like maybe the transition point between the last song and this song is, but I definitely think that there's some significance. I mean, this is Hamilton. Like, I feel like all of these little details are intentional, and they could have started this song anyway, and they chose to use a piece of the opening numbers intro as the intro for this song. So I feel like that has some significance, right? So I guess I'll like keep an eye out for what that significance could be. I know we just started and I'm already talking a lot, but this is part 3. Y'all should be used to this by now. So back to the point. This is another reason why I'm glad that I'm breaking these videos up into parts, because if I hadn't gone through the process of reacting to part 1, editing that video 15 times, and then of course like listening to that song on Spotify in between filming that video and filming this video, I probably wouldn't have caught that. And I feel like that's going to be important. Like my spidey senses are tingling that that's going to be important in this song. My spidey senses are tingling that that's going to be important in this song. So I'm going to look out for other like nods to the Alexander Hamilton like opening number song, and like see if I can pick up on them and catch them. But I don't think I would have caught that if I had just sat and reacted to this whole thing in one sitting without having like those like extra layers of exposure to that song before this. Also, the little drummer boy is a murderer. Like what I don't know who the light-skinned chick who's the background dancer is supposed to represent, but she got her neck broken like this is a James Bond movie. What's up with that? Yeah. And also the king like looked all like creepily satisfied in the disc. I don't like it. This song is already weird. It's weird. There's a lot going on, and we like 5 seconds into the song. So here we go. That's Farmer Refuted, right? Chaos. So this song is already referenced two songs in. Also, ignore my singing voice, okay? But it's not. I'm sick, okay? Don't be judging my music based off my little humming, trying to get the top line melody back in my head from the previous songs I done reacted to, okay? So don't be a hater. I didn't even catch that last time when I went through. I was like so focused on what was happening visually that before they even reference the motif from the intro of Alexander Hamilton, they re-reference the like top line vocal melody of the royalist loyalist dude who was on his soapbox. That's what that is in the background, right? Which makes sense because he was talking about like the monarchy, and this dude is like literally he is the embodiment of the monarchy. So referencing that there makes sense. But I do find it interesting that so far I haven't caught any of the songs directly referencing any of the previous songs, but this song, this like intro or transition or whatever this is here before the next song has already referenced two previous songs, and one of them like makes obvious sense to me. The other one, I'm not sure yet, but I'm now looking for references to previous songs for this like.
We'll fight for this land, but there's only one man who can give us a command so we can rise up. Understand it's the only way to rise up, rise up. Here he comes. Here comes the general. Ladies and gentlemen, here comes the general. The moment you've been waiting for. Here comes the general. The pride of Mount Vernon.
Okay, all right, hold on. All right, so before we get into the pride of Mount Vernon, I don't know where Mount Vernon is, but that sounds familiar, so it's clearly an important place. Probably because whatever general this is from there. Okay, so I picked up on more callbacks, and so I wanted to touch on those. Alex got another new jacket. So he started in the brown, like dusty looking one, and then I think he got a white one, and then he just got a blue one. So there is that happened. I don't remember when the first jacket change happened. I think in the Alexander Hamilton song. But this is a third jacket change, so another symbolic representation of him becoming a new man, maybe a military man now, because they were talking about the soldiers surrounding New York Harbor, and he was way too happily smiling about the fact that he wanted a war, and now the war is here. So maybe that's like a military coat. Aaron Burr seems to have like a similar bluish jacket on, so maybe he's also a military man. And then there was something else. Oh, Rise Up. They said Rise Up a few times, and like the Rise Up background vocals was like a big part of the like end portion of My Shot. So this song in rapid succession is just referencing a bunch of other things that have happened in the lead up to this. So this is clearly a very important song. Also, it's like 8 billion years long. So like obviously this is like a moment here, which is part of the reason why I'm like dissecting it so much. But anyway, let's get into this Pride of Mount Vernon dude. Here comes the general. General. The only general that I know from the Revolutionary War, if I'm being real with you, is George Washington. So I'm hoping that this is George Washington, because if it's not, then I'm gonna be looking dumb again about not knowing history. But anyway, let's see.
The pride of Mount Vernon, George Washington. We are outgunned, outmanned, outnumbered, outplanned. Can I be real a second? For just a millisecond. Let down my guard and tell the people how I feel a second. Now I'm the model of a modern major general, the venerated Virginian veteran, whose men are all lining up to put me up on a pedestal, writing letters to relatives, embellishing my elegance and eloquence. But the elephant is in the room.
Okay, so he said that they're embellishing his eloquence, but I mean, my dude said the venerated, hold on. The venerated Virginia veteran? Yeah, that's what I think he said. I don't know. Anyway, I thought it was cool. The little VVV alliteration thing that they had going on. There's also like a lot of like stacks of threes. So like embellishing, eloquence, Elephant. All of those start with like the same like E sound at the beginning of them. And then I already talked about Venerated, Virginia, Veteran, V sound. And there was another one that happened earlier there, but I can't remember what it was. But the point is, I really like the rap parts of this musical because like the lyricism just be like peak, dog. It'd be peak. Also, this not going good for my boys. Like they're getting their butts kicked right now. I know that we were not winning the Revolutionary War until the French stepped in, and I don't know if Lafayette is like an embodiment of that concept, or if we are going to be losing for a decent percentage of this musical, and then at some point the French are going to give us help just to stick it to the English because the British-French rivalry is like millennia old. It's a very old. It's the fact that they're on even cool terms now is magical because they really wasn't rocking with each other for a long time. So shout outs to the French. I know that y'all like don't really like us that much now, but that's okay. That's okay. We still I at the very least still appreciate y'all help in us becoming a free country. I don't know if that's going to come up in this particular Right Hand Man song, but I'm just spitting out the history facts I do know. But yeah, my boy George is flowing. One last tidbit. I love that they changed up the musical vibe of the song when he came in. I mean, not just like everything changed. The lighting changed, the genre and the like sonic vibe of the song changed, and also the rhyme scheme changed as he came in. This is like my first real introduction to this character, I believe. Is he in the Alexander Hamilton song? He might be. His face looks a little bit familiar. So he might be somewhere in the Alexander Hamilton song, but this is my first like real, you get what I'm saying. And so, yeah, I like this introduction of him as a character. Feels distinct from everything leading up to this, especially because everything leading up to this was like very blatantly referencing all of the songs leading up to this, you know?
Men are all lining up to put me up on a pedestal, writing letters to relatives, embellishing my elegance and eloquence. But the elephant is in the room.
Okay, I messed that up. It wasn't 3 on that one. It was 4. Embellishing my elegance and eloquence. The elephant is in it. Hard. Okay, we getting back into the song, but I need to say that's hard. Okay, I need y'all to know that's hard. I know that y'all know that that's hard, but I need y'all to know that I know that that's hard. Okay.
The truth is in your face when you hear the British cannons go. We put a stop to the bleeding as the British take Brooklyn. Night takes Rook, but look, we are outgunned, outmanned. They're battering down the battery, check the damages. We gotta stop them and rob them of their advantages. Let's take a stand with the stamina God has granted us. Hamilton won't abandon shit out. Let's steal the cannons. Close the cannon, watch the blood and the shit spray. And close the cannon, we're abandoning Kids Bay. And I'm in dire need of assistance, Your Excellency.
Is that Aaron? Okay, we'll get to that when I see it happen. There is so much going on in this song. Wow. Where do I start? After Alex came back in, the like writing changed to kind of like fit his style. The way in which that his lines are connected is very different from the way that George Washington's lines were connected. And then when George Washington came back in, his style matched more of Alex's style. But earlier, it was like a very distinct difference in the way that his lines were connected. There was a bunch of lines where in the same line or in a couplet, so in like 2 lines, a set of lines, they had a bunch of things that had the same initial sound to the words. And I thought that was really cool. I haven't seen any other characters' lines be like that. And it was a bunch of them back to back to back. And now I can't really remember what all of them were because I saw like 2 more sets of it happen. And I was like, oh, next time I pause, I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to make sure to put that in. And then everything started blowing. They lost Brooklyn. They had to retreat to Harlem. They lost the southern tip of something. I didn't hear what the southern tip of what it was that was lost, but something lost. It was a bunch of stuff. And now my boy George Washington getting attacked. There's a mutiny. He getting criticized. It's a bunch of stuff going on is the point. Explosions are happening. The background dancers flying all over the place. Yeah, sorry. I wish I could hold what exactly the lines were in my head. I know one of them was Bleeding Brooklyn, and then it was like a third B word in there. And then after that, there was another set of them, but I can't remember what it was. So sorry, but the point is, it's cool. I really like the writing in George Washington's section. It's super different than like Alex's way of rhyming, you know? But I did notice that like in this little section here, when Alex came back in, and then they like stole cannons or something, right? Crazy. And then we got George again. I was looking for another one. He didn't do it in those particular lines. So it was like that earlier section before Alex came in. But yeah, anyway, let's get into this, because it looks like Aaron Burr is coming over here. Yeah. So much is happening that I don't even know when they put this desk on the stage. Like I didn't see it at all. I saw people exploding. I was trying to catch rhyme schemes and looking for other references to previous songs, and then boom, table. So here we go.
Your Excellency, sir. Who are you? Aaron Burr, sir. Permission to state my case. As you were? Sir, I was a captain under General Montgomery until he caught a bullet in the neck in Quebec. Well, in summary, I think that I could be of some assistance. Yes, well...
Your Excellency, you wanted to see me?
Hamilton, come in. Have you met Burr?
Yes, sir. We keep meeting.
As I was saying, sir, I look forward to seeing your strategy play out.
Burr,
sir.
Close the door on your way out.
Have I done something wrong, sir?
On the contrary.
Okay, so oh boy, this song has a lot packed into it. Wow. So many thoughts. Where do I even start? One, this is a reference to Aaron Burr, sir, because the sir in rhyme, again, exclusively used in Aaron Burr, sir, which makes sense because Aaron, he comes into this song from a like plot standpoint instead of just like an introductory standpoint. So like he introduces Alex in Alexander Hamilton and also introduces George Washington in this song. But in Aaron Burr, sir, we like really get his personality, you know? And in that song, there's a lot of Burr rhymes, but also just in general using sir as the in rhyme of a lot of the lines in that song. And this song also does that. As soon as Aaron Burr comes in, it's like, who are you? It's Aaron Burr, sir. And then like a lot of these lines are ending with sir. It's even continuing on even after Aaron has been excused from the room, that Alex is continuing with the sir rhymes just like he does in Aaron Burr, sir. So that's really cool. That's all like writing stuff and like character references and all that stuff. That's cool, right? On the other hand, my boy Aaron was making a play for a promotion. He's trying to like essentially become like the strategist for George Washington, because George Washington keeps saying, I need assistance. And I think earlier he said, I need a right-hand man, which I guess is where the name of this song comes from. And so respect, like, you know, if a job position is open and you want it, go for it, right? But then as he's trying to make his case, Alex shows up and he gets thrown out the room, and now George Washington is talking to Alex, which I'm not saying this excuses him shooting Alex at some point in this, but I'm saying I might understand a little bit more. You feel me? Like if you go in for the position and you get cut in front of, you know, people get shot for getting cut in front of on the road. So I mean, if this is where the bad blood starts, I understand, is what I'm saying. As a person who is like very ambitious myself, I get how this could bruise a man's ego quite a bit. Okay, let's continue and see where this goes. I don't want to jump the ship too soon, but I feel like the way this played out is very not good for y'all boy. And I'm not even calling him my boy, because y'all know I ain't been rocking with Aaron up until this point. But ouch.
Burr, sir, close the door on your way out.
Have I done something wrong, sir?
On the contrary, I called you here because our odds are beyond scary. Now why are you upset?
I'm not.
It's all right. You want to fight. You've got a hunger. I was just like you when I was younger. Head full of fantasies of dying like a martyr.
Yes.
That's the backing melody from My Shot, right? Yeah, okay. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there was like a slight little piano progression in the background that was the same melody progression of the background vocals in My Shot at the end, where it's like the group like choral thing, which is another reference in this song to previous songs, which is crazy. There is so many references in this song to previous songs. This one kind of makes sense to me more than the like Alexander Hamilton references, because like that whole song of My Shot is about ambition and like looking forward to the war as a way to like rise up from your lot in life to something better, higher, etc. And this is like literally that ambition. It's coming to fruition. Ambition, fruition. Your boy got bars. Okay, anyway. So it makes sense that they are referencing this, and they referenced the song earlier with the rise up, before the music changed, before George Washington came in. And so really cool. I like that this song is referencing like previous songs leading up to this point, especially in ways that like narratively make sense. I wasn't able to catch like the reason for the Alexander Hamilton reference earlier with the intro, but the Farmer Refuted reference, the changing of the jacket reference, which I don't remember which song that happened in the first time, but it happened again in this song, the Aaron Burser rhyme scheme reference, and this like little background melody of My Shot all make narrative sense and are also like really cool. And so yeah, dope. Anyway, Alex, chill out, my guy. Like, look at you right now. You are very I get if like you don't want to be a secretary. I understand that. But also, this is don't mess up your shot. The whole point of the song is don't mess up your shot, and you get an attitude with the general. You're messing up your shot. Like sometimes you got to know when to at least when Aaron came, he came in like real smooth. Now it didn't work out for him, so maybe that's a lesson here. But yeah, and the intensity in this moment is like, look at my boy face right now. Like
I was just like you when I was younger. Head full of fantasies of dying like a martyr.
Yes.
Dying is easy. Young man living is harder.
Why are you telling me this?
I'm being honest. I'm working with a third of what our Congress has. And his right hand man! Boom!
Okay, I have lots more thoughts, but I'm gonna save them for the outro. So yeah, see you guys in the outro. Okay, so the first things first, to continue the point about the trio of lines that start with the same initial sound, that outnumbered, outmanned, outplanned, outgunned, I think it's just those four. Sometimes it's trios, sometimes it's what is a set of four called? 3 is trio, 5 is quintet. There's one for 4. Whatever, you get the point. Sometimes it's 4 words, sometimes it's 3 words, but regardless, the point is that that was one of the things I was referencing earlier. It was like Brooklyn, Bleeding, and some other B, and then I was like, there's another set of them, but I can't remember what it was. That's what it was. It was the outnumbered, outmanned, outplanned, outgunned, or whatever that was. Super dope. Anyway, this song was crazy. The fact that I had that much to say about one song is insane. And again, I still have more to say. Like the fact that I noticed that when Alex got the job as the right-hand man to George Washington, I don't know what that would, like what military position that would be, like lieutenant general or something. I don't know. I'm not in the military, but whatever the position that Alex got was, when they needed more men, he didn't mention Aaron. He mentioned everybody else who was in like the little Aaron Burser / My Shot tavern scene there, but he didn't mention Aaron, even though he just saw Aaron. He brought Lafayette back, he brought Mulligan back, he brought Lawrence back, but not Aaron, which is interesting. I don't know why. I'm just saying that's slight number 2, okay? That's pouring extra salt on the wounds, okay? I didn't get the job, but you couldn't even get me in the room. I wanted to be number 2. But I didn't get that. But I can't even get a honorable mention. Like, yeah. So egos were very bruised in that song. But at the same time, I also understand why Alex was picked, because like the dude's a genius, and he's been a like renowned genius since he was a kid. And at the same time, he's also like very invested in the cause when other people were running away, which is something that George Washington was complaining about. Like other people were retreating and scared as like the cannons were blowing stuff up. Not Alex. Alex was ready to die. Like he's like, let's go steal those cannons. So he is showing qualities that if I was in George Washington's position, I understand why he would have selected Alex. Now, sometimes people can be too invested and like you have to like rein them in. But in this situation where everyone else is essentially shaking in their boots, even though they respect George Washington, they're still afraid. Alex is not. He's on the offensive, and that is necessary in this situation, while also being very, very intelligent, which is also necessary in this situation. And so, yeah, it's interesting. This is a very interesting song. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this. I feel like there are probably some other references to previous songs that I may have missed, but I feel like I also caught a bunch of them, so I'm proud of myself with that. If there are things that I did miss in this song that you would like to let me know about, let me know in the comment section down below. While you're down there, definitely make sure to subscribe. We are super close to getting to 20,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button. Help us push over that threshold. It's free. It don't cost you nothing, and it's gonna help you not miss out on the future parts of this reaction series of videos to Hamilton. As you can see, I have a lot to say about all of the different songs that are happening, so definitely make sure to subscribe not to miss out on those videos. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys. You guys have a great day, and I'll see all of you guys here on the channel next time. Peace.
Twilight, these skies no blues. A new love, but we know that it'll cruise like time in a queue. Wet shampoo, new bamboo, much more of it will ensue. I'm caught in this trance and new of sinking down in the stew. You change up the brew, now life tastes so brand new. It's delicious like fondue. Under the moonlight tonight, stars and hearts shimmering. You illuminate who I am. You're a bad light, my midnight.